great to be here in Berlin with you. I am Mariam, and I'm a partner manager at Facebook. And that means I'm helping agencies to grow their business with Facebook and Instagram. Some of you in the audience might think, yeah, Instagram, that is this visual platform where you can upload pictures with a million filters on it. I want to challenge you on this thought today, and I want to inspire you to think about Instagram as a valuable marketing channel that can really help your business to grow and reach the people you really care about. Maybe you think, why is Instagram so important, and how did it become such an important communication platform? And that is why. Humans crave connection. When somebody looks at their phone, they're looking to connect with people and things they're interested in. They want to share an emotional connection with people, like family and friends, and that is why we're such a social species. When you think about the magic trick our brain can do, we can share very complex experiences, and we can also decode experiences of others. That is something that no other species on the planet can do, and that is also what makes us such a social species. When you think about how technology changed communication, there are two major aspects technology has changed, and that is expression and connection. We crave to communicate with other people and express ourselves very visually, and that is how technology helped us. If you think about all of us, we love to share our personal moments. We also like to share our point of views, and technology helps us to find ways to visualize that, to share that with friends, with our community, and also with maybe a business, or a business to other people, to people they care about, their customers. And if we share these moments with other people, we allow them to communicate with us in a more intimate way. It feels like for them they're sitting next to us and they can hear us laugh. They can explore the world and be taken to places they might never been. And they can feel, understand, and see and understand the life of somebody else they might never meet. And that is everything which basically has happened through technology. So if you think about how Instagram has evolved, you see that Instagram has become one of the major platforms when it comes to visual storytelling. The world comes to Instagram to capture moments and to share with friends and family what they experience. And it is how do they do that? They share images and they share videos. And that is something I want to go a bit more deeper inside. So it is safe to say that Instagram is the embodiment of three major consumer shifts we see. The first shift is from desktop to mobile. People spend more time on mobile online than any other device. And for the first time this year, people shop more on online devices on mobile than on any other devices. And that's a very important shift to understand. The second shift is from search to discovery. People get more and more used to consume very personalized feeds and get information that is very personalized to their needs and their information they want to see. Just think about yourself. When you scroll through whether it is Facebook newsfeed or Instagram feed, you really want to see personalized content. And that is a challenge for everyone. It's a challenge for businesses to reach people they care, and it's also a challenge for other people. And then the last shift, which is, you've already seen it, is the shift from text to visual. So images and video became the most important and powerful way of communication. So how does Instagram help you as a business and others to communicate? So as you can see here, people can communicate through the mobile feed, just the Instagram feed, share moments, share important moments, share special moments. And they can use stories to share everyday moments, something which is can be very limited. And they also can use direct messages to share moments with friends and family. They can also reach you as a business if they want to know if something is still in stock, if they want to know where they can find your business and how to get in touch with you. And that's very interesting, especially for businesses, because for businesses, Instagram has become a visual place that inspires action. And that's something I want to deep dive into and explain you what you need to know to use Instagram as a successful marketing channel. So what businesses can do, they can connect to a community of passions. We understand that on Instagram there are not only people who want to connect with each other, there are people who have a certain passion. And you as a business, you can find those passions, you can find those touch points where you can really inspire people to interact with you and to do the action you want them to do, whether it's to purchase your product or to subscribe to your service. Another really important pillar is be inspired to action. That means that you can really reach people on every step on their journey in a funnel. That means if you want to reach somebody you've never been in touch with, so someone who doesn't know your brand, you need first to raise brand awareness. You need to build a relationship with that person, with that customer, to actually at the end inspire them to do an action. And the third pillar is to design for frame. That means that you can use our tools, our visual tools, to basically tell a brand story, to tell what is your brand is about, what your products or services are about, to really inspire at the end what your business goal is, whether it is a subscription, whether it is to sell your products, or just inform or get in touch with the community. And I want to deep dive in now all these three pillars to really showcase how important it is and really can help you. So let's let's have a look at this example from Beats. So Beats have used these pillars very successfully. They try to connect with their community through music. So it's the passion their community has. They really like to listen to music. And then they use stories to connect with those people, to tell their brand story. What is their brand about and why should people actually go and buy their products? And thirdly, they used a normal ad to send the user to their landing page and let them buy their products. And that's how it looks like. Sorry. You should, whatever. So next step is I want to deep dive into how you connect to the passions of your community. As I previously mentioned, it's more about just people communicating with each other on a very visually, meaning sharing pictures and videos. It's about the connection and the community. And the beating heart of a community are their passions. So let's have a look how you as a business can really understand what kind of communities are on Instagram, how you can reach them, and how you can enable yourself to be successful. So let's have a look into how our community looks like. We have 700 million active monthly users on Instagram. So 400 million users come to Instagram every day. And we have 8 million businesses on Instagram and 1 million active advertisers. Last August, we launched Instagram Stories, and we now have 250 million Instagrammers use Instagram Stories every day. This is a really huge number, which you need to digest and understand how it can really enable you to be successful at that platform. So, who is our community? Our community is very diverse. We have people from different backgrounds, people with different lifestyles, and each one of your businesses can really find the people they care about on Instagram. Let's have a closer look who's on Instagram. So who's on Instagram? 55% of Instagrammers are women. 64% of those women are between 18 and 34. And 70% of Instagrammers are men between 18 and 34. Just to give you some stats. So we now know what kind of people are on Instagram. Let's look into what kind of passions they have. 59% of Instagrammers are influenced by brands to purchase cars, basically. They're inspired by other brands, automotive brands, to buy cars. Then 55% of Instagrammers get inspired on Instagram about fashion and styling. And 62% build excitement for upcoming trips. That means for travel. Travel is a very important vertical on Instagram. So how do businesses tap into these passions? Here are three examples I want to show you how they did that very successfully. So Adidas, 1/3 of Instagrammers, they follow a sports account. That means Adidas took this insight and created an ad like this, which you should be able to see now. They tapped in that insight, created an ad, and targeted sports enthusiasts. Then Hilton Hotel, what did they do? Food is another very big passion on Instagram, and they took that insight to target people who are foodies and created the ad you can see here. So another example how you can connect to your audience and to their passions is from Gap UK. They've targeted people who love their clothes, and they've created this ad, which plays in New York, to connect to their audience. Let's have a look. It's a very simple ad, but it really connects to the passions of the people and send them to the landing page where they can shop the products. If you might see this ad in your feed, you get inspired, you spark exploration, and you want to know more about what's actually behind it. Another example is from L'Oreal. What they have done, they targeted. Another example is from L'Oreal. What they have done, they targeted younger people who are interested in beauty products. Sorry. L'Oreal, who targeted people who are interested in beauty products, and that's how the ad looks like. So we've seen a couple of really great examples how people are really passionate about certain interests and how brands can connect to those interests. And I want to show you now how you can inspire those people to action. So it's really important that you think about the benefits of your brand, the USPs, for the story selling. That means that you not only show basic facts in your ads, you also need to wrap it up in a story, in a brand story that connects to people. And then the follow-through. The purchase journey doesn't stop on Instagram. You really need to think about where does the person land when they see their ad, when they click on the ad, and they basically land on their M site. If it's an app or a website, and you really need to make sure that this is optimized towards mobile. So let's have a look. We basically did a small study to see how shoppers behave online. And we found out that 6 out of 7 days, people come to Instagram to inform themselves about different products. And those shoppers actually those shoppers actually consume twice as much content than non-shoppers, which is a really interesting insight. That means that people who purchase online are very keen to get actually inspired by businesses about their products and services. And that could be a very great potential target group for you. Let's see how the community can take action. We offer different solutions that help you to actually interact with your customers and to drive action. For instance, our lead ads. Lead ads help you to collect personal information like email addresses or telephone numbers, so you can actually get in touch with those customers. Those people actually showed an interest in your products. Then we are testing at the moment options to drive people to your store, which is really interesting. Then we have dynamic ads. That means you can actually target people who already showed interest in your products on Instagram. So they already showed an intent and you can remarket them with dynamic ads. And it's basically using the product catalog you already have in place. And that's how it looks like. You see the dynamic ads, basically, if you open them up, you can add in your email address, your telephone number, and that lead will be sent to the business, and you can follow up this lead. So let's have another look in other examples how brands follow through. This example is from Beltology, and what they have done is they showed in one ad what their brand is about, how people can purchase it super easily, what the price point is. And that's really interesting because they just use one single ad to basically get in touch with their customers. Another example is from Brabble. They're an app store, and they used Instagram to drive app installs. And the last example, here you can see the follow through. They have a really great optimized mobile site, and what they've done is just to send people directly from the ad to their landing page to follow through. That means to end the purchase journey, to basically do an action. And that's really important that you consider that the mobile site needs to be optimized. It's not only the ad who's responsible for driving action, it's also your site which needs to be optimized and ensure that there's a really seamless exit and purchase journey. Another great product we're currently working on is the shopping feature on Instagram. You can basically drive discovery, tag your products, show them in more detail, and then drive people to a landing page to purchase. And this example is from Kate Spade, which you saw here. The last thing I want to give you is I want to talk about creative and how important creativity or creative inspiration is for you to actually drive this action, to connect to those passions of your customers. For you as a business or a brand, it's important to do two things. You need to think about visual first, because the first touch point a person has on Instagram with your brand is the visual. And the second very important element is to think mobile first. Instagram is a mobile first platform, and you need to make sure that your ads, your creatives are amended to this frame. We did a small study to basically prove that images or videos are the center of visual communication, obviously of visual communication, and should be the center of your communication. As you can see here, we tested it against branding, image, and text, and we found out that people spend 83% longer on the image or the video. That really means if you want to tell a brand story, you need to make sure that this brand story is visualized within the image or text you're using in your adverts. Also, Maybe you already have content you can use on Instagram. You can extend the content you already have and use it for other channels quite easily by amending them for Instagram. You can tell stories across Facebook and Instagram to empower your brand story. For instance, you can use features like ad sequencing to make it more interesting and more relevant to your audience. Also, you can embrace the formats we have, and I will get to that in more detail in the next slides to show you actually what kind of formats we offer you on Instagram. And you need to play more on Instagram. Instagram is a very creative platform and empowers you to be super creative and use our formats and also get inspired by other brands and how they use Instagram to empower their brand and get in touch with their customers. Here's an example of McDonald's and how they basically used the space on Instagram to tell their brand story in different ways. So you have the opportunity to use square and feet, vertical video, and full screen through stories, which looks like that. Okay, it's not playing, sorry. Another option is for you also to embrace different creative formats. So as you can see, from mirroring to animation, illustration, or stop motion, advertisers, brands are using different ways to communicate what their brand is about, to capture those moments of passions of their customers and to drive an action. And you can see here there are many different ways to do that. Also, think video first. We're a video first platform and we offer different formats like stories, which I will get into more detail, live, which you can use if you want to share everyday moments. So it's a very temporary solution for you to go behind the scene. It's kind of a behind the scene character where you can take someone on a journey or on an adventure with you. Also boomerang, which is also a kind of motion which helps you to get this thumb stopper effect. Imagine yourself scrolling through the feed. You would stop somewhere where there's a motion, where there's a dynamic going on, because that captures your attention and that's what you get interested in and want to find more about. Also the typical video ads we offer. Instagram Stories. We launched it last August and it's been a very successful feature we have, because that enables people to share everyday moments in a very temporary way. And in fact, 1/3 of the Instagram stories viewed are from businesses. That means that's actually a very important placement for you to be. Let's see how Airbnb has done that. So Airbnb just created a really small video to tell what their brand is about, to capture the attention of their customers, of the people they care, to drive them to their page and drive them and inspire them to an action. There are also other brands who use Instagram stories in a very creative way, and they were able to drive brand awareness, message association, and ad recall. Just here a few examples how you can use Instagram stories to capture the attention of the people you care about as a business. Also, rethink context. Here is an example from Adidas, who had created a video with sound on, but you need to also make sure that this video is also be able to be understood when it sounds off. A lot of people watch videos sound off, so what they've done is they've created this video and turned it into a sound off format, which is mobile optional. You think about yourself when you consume video on mobile.
Defies the status quo. Reinvents routine. When we unleash our creativity, that makes all the difference.
Last but not least, I want to stop or end this presentation with a final example. You've seen from Beats at the beginning, it's from Mercedes. Mercedes really captured all three pillars I was talking about. They kind of connected to the passions of their audiences, of the passions of the people they care about. They try to inspire to action by using different formats we offer and immerse visually. So you can see here, they put the logo in the center with the boomerang ads. In the second stage, they took the consumer, the customer on a journey. It's a behind-the-scene character. It's very temporary, but it's exciting and interesting, and it tells a full brand story. All three ads, they belong together, and they take the customer from the very first impression, what is this brand about, how does the logo look like, to what is behind the scene, what is the experience you have with this brand, to actually follow through. Have a call to action button on the last ad you see here, and inspire them to do an action. So, key takeaways today is for you to really think about who is the audience you want to reach, who are the people you care about as a business, and try to connect to their passion points, whether it is fashion or automotive or anything else, you want to connect to them. And then inspire them to action. That's super important because you can basically reach every one of the customers from the very first brand impression, the brand awareness, to drive them to an action, whether it's sales, registration, or just going to your website to read about content. And the last point is design for frame. Instagram is a mobile-first platform and it's very visual, so really try to use the formats and the creative tools we have to create very inspirational and interesting brand stories to inspire the people you want to reach on Instagram. And that is it. Thank you so much for your attention. We have workshops today, workshops about optimization and campaign structure and also creative inspiration. Come to our booth if you have questions. My team is happy to answer them. And yeah, thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you, Mariam. Mariam from Facebook. That was how to use Instagram.